What's up, guys? Alright, so we're back to character number 3 now. Shadow Priest. Because holy cow is it busted. And you guys have missed some of my leveling. But Archon, y'all, is so gross. I wish Voidweaver was better. I like the idea behind Voidweaver. It's just poorly arranged, I guess is the best way to put it right now. But Archon with Halo, cracking that as well with Dark Ascension is holy cow, so much damage. This is the last boss fight we did. You can see it was only 261k, 494 eye level at 75. Let's see. 324. Machinist I did 327. Edna was 224. This big trash pull was doing 327 all AoE, but just single target alone, 261 with Archon. Again, at a 494 eye level is bananas. I think it's just really obscenely good. So, in between dungeons, we are doing quests. I'm just speed leveling this guy, of course, right now because... well, what else do I really have to do? I've already done this twice. I don't see a point in doing it genuinely for a third time. And since we are doing this off of a... with 2 already completed, I am getting a 20% XP bonus, which just makes dungeon leveling even faster for that matter. So again, what would be the point in reasoning behind wanting to do it again? There's not, really. Just the obscene amount of damage that Shadow Priest does right now, I think, is probably the biggest piece of appeal. Like, it's just too good, I think, especially for dungeons. And then especially with running Dark Ascension and immediately popping into Halo right after that is so good. Show you what I guys mean here in this dungeon. Hopefully they do a big enough pull I can do this. Yep, looks like we're going to yank a whole bunch of crap. Here we go. And pop. Beating out everybody on the meters. No surprise there, honestly. We just do an obscene amount of damage with that Halo. We haven't even hit the max ability where it starts echoing back in and out to where it's just going to be even worse. I'm going to gather all these up for the tank really fast. And back here, we'll pop this. Here we go, we're going to do it again. And then we also have the talent which increases our damage from Mind Flay by 60%. It's not 16, that's 60%. And also, since Halo goes out and back in, and every time it does damage, it increases the amount of damage that we do. Look at this. Look at this. 417 final count. 417 KDPS at level 75 at a 494 level. Because Halo and this setup and build is just busted. Archon is broken, y'all. I'm gonna say, what the hell am I in combat with? I'm very certain I killed everything. But seriously, it's so good. Like, outside of this, your setup is really not the best. Like, Crash is... eh. So yeah, sorry about that. I had to adjust to realize I still had the setup to say Warlock was what we were looking at today. Unfortunately, I have decided that I don't want to play I really don't want to play Warlock. This is just way too much fun. Not today. Like, just... the amount of damage you do is just obscene, y'all. Like, for real. Barely got a burst off, 284. Like, what? Here we go. Let's pop. Start blowing everything out here. Here we go. I ended up pausing and getting stuck there for a second. But again, 359. Single target. Didn't even get the extra bonus damage from Shadow Crash. Still just slaughtered everyone. Oh, this is gonna hurt. Go ahead and use dispersion since I can't freaking move. Right before the final boss, I wasn't about to burn my massive AoE here. Here we go. Let's do this again.
Watch your step. Watch your step.
291. Okay. Wasn't super great, but better than nothing, to be fair. It's just ridiculous how much damage you do. It really, really is. Especially in these AoE situations. Alright. So, yep, now we are headed down. We're going to go sit here with Valeria. I did not realize this mount flies. How about that? Center main charger, my new favorite. Ooh, a bit of sneeze. Oh, I could like feel it. For some reason, my body doesn't want to let me. Oh man, I just can't freaking sneeze. It won't let my. It's inside my nose. My nose has been clogged all day long. There we go. Anyway. Okay. This has become the standard. Massive poles of the tanks. It's nothing new. Just gonna run through, pull everything to all these little points over here.
Watch your step.
And this is why you don't got to pay attention to shit. It just keeps running. Stunned or trapped or anything like that, of course, there's freaking tethers.
Watch your step.
Man, I'm getting beat out by these guys now. Look at this. Warriors. Obscene. Like, holy cow, y'all.
Watch your step.
Way too much fun now.
Watch your step.
And another level up. Man, tearing through this. It's just crazy the amount of I really wish I had done this instead of Warlock. And I say that not because I am upset in any way, shape, or form about Warlock. I just genuinely think that this is just superior to what Warlock does. So now we're going to hit our ultimate ability, and we can fill in the gaps on the rest of this later. It's like the Halo damage and healing is going to be increased. Power Infusion grants additional haste, dispersion, or actually even additional stamina. So depending on what I really need, if it's survivability for Mythic Plus, get more dispersion, get more stamina for raids. It's just fantastic. I don't care for either one of these, but I guess Shock Pulse will be fun. But I'm really excited to see what Divine Halo does here. Because again, now that it centers around me, it'll go out to max distance and then come back. So it's a double hit now with Halo. This is why Archon has become so strong. Now that I've got like the strongest form of this. So we were to look at that comparatively to Voidweaver over here. Let's see here. Sorry. Tired. Generates 2 instant every time it attacks. We can do that. Every 2 seconds, siphon an amount equal to 3% of your health from an ally if they are higher health than you. That could be good or bad. Like, survivability wise, that could be okay, but we'll go with Embrace the Shadow, and then we can run Collapsing Void here so that it'll do more damage, bigger size, so it'll do more AoE, essentially. I do like Voidweaver because of the way it uses Void Torrent. You can cast it while moving, and that's what directs the rift, and then it'll stay underneath the enemies. So if you hit one in the middle of a pack, it'll just keep damaging everything. I'm going to switch it back here in a second. I think that's fantastic. Oh, excuse me. But yeah, Archon with Halos is nasty good. Like nasty, nasty good. Of course, it's much easier to find dungeons right now because everybody has basically moved on to that.
I am glad you're back, Adelgard.
You know, everybody is now just spamming dungeons to get whatever characters they have up and running.
Stand as one and strike back against the Nerubians. I have calibrated my prices to be reasonable.
Why would I even use that? This character did not get a whole lot of use before Dragonflight ended. Like, I was playing around with the idea of using him, but it was kind of just, oh, this is fun, yada yada yada. But it was not a very serious thought for a minute until I started actually doing damage with him, so that was a lot of fun. Huh, another Shadow Priest, look at that. Higher level, that's why he's doing less damage than me. His stat weights are way off because of how high his level is. Because he should be whooping my ass. At least that's the way you would think it would upgrade, right? Does it though? Does it though? No.
Watch your step.
Ooh!
Watch your step.
Ooh, that sucked.
Watch your step. Watch your step.
Free the birds. It's for the birds.
Please. Crowd control.
Oh, it's gonna start to suck here in a second. This guy doesn't. Alright, we're gonna do this. Keep everybody alive here.
Crowd control. Crowd control. Please.
There we go. Alright.
Please.
We're about to be back up again. And ready to go. Here we go.
Watch where. Please. Run.
Four 11. Obscene.
I do not like that it feels darker and colder as we go down. But there are more survivors. What is that? The lift is out. If we want to keep going, we will have to go down. We have to take it down.
Here we go. We're going to do this. We're gonna do this.
Crowd control. Crowd control.
Go. Not bad for a slow start. So far, I will say this. We have been able to find gear that has been keeping with the stats that we need relatively. I mean, haste on, well, everything. Because how do you manage a dot class without it? So, yeah. So far, we've been hitting the marks that we need. And again, Shadow Priest. Just gross.
So here we are. High Speaker Irish. Or is it just Irish now? He's fled from the Hall of Awakening into the Stone Vault. He's probably running like a frightened mouse. Wee, sleepy, cowering, timorous beastie.
We're going to be doing this again because, again, everybody just runs. They don't fucking think. Yep, and we're going to run into crazy amounts of fears and everything else because, God forbid, these guys actually pay attention to the crap that they're doing. Like that. Can only pull so much before it's too much.
Is that Gollum fused with something else? Titanic earthen technology enhanced with magical augments.
Nope, we're going to be low on the DPS charts with this one.
Activating defense protocols.
Watch your step.
Offensive measures engaged. Dominated trigger identified. Offensive measures
Watch your step.
activated. Offensive measures engaged.
Watch your step.
Activated. Dominated trigger identified.
Looks like the main door is locked. His path used to access console.
Once we max out, I might try Voidweaver again. Just because doing this with Halo seems kind of sad, to be honest with you. I wish they would lower the cooldown on this stuff. You know what I mean?
Machine speakers in the stone vault. Fanatically loyal, no doubt.
The big thing is, I just wish there felt like there was more of a flow.
Interrupt 1. Watch your step. Watch your. Round 2. Interrupt 2. Watch your.
Look for another minecart. If it's here, we might as well use it, unless you'd rather walk.
But yeah, I think even with Voidweaver, the way you got to set up your talents is a little bit funky, and you're not going to get the same amount of damage you're getting out of Halo with this, with the repetition of there and out 3 times while in full setup with Dark Ascension. You're not going to get that type of damage anywhere else. Tank's just gonna mass pull again. Like an idiot.
Target changed. Watch your step. Target changed. Watch your step.
290. Still not bad.
Look for a
502.76.
You should be able to take a mine cart back to central processing. There he is. Look at him. Beyond saving. That seems like poetic justice, but let's finish this.
All right. 3, 2, 1.
Shockwave. Spread. Shockwave.
324. Oof. Getting a little dicey there. Just a little bit. You know? So yeah. So far so good. So taking a look at Voidweaver. I want to see what we're going to be able to do with this one on this expansion here. On this portion, next one that we're going to do. So the trick with this one also is stacking up Mind Blasts, because it turns it into Void Blast whenever you end up throwing this Entropic Rift out. So again, my haste is freaking king, is because you want to full channel Entropic Rift into everything else. I'm going to go ahead and switch full-blown talent pieces here. It won't let me. So I'm going to set this, and I'm going to set a new one. Load out. And it's going to be Voidweaver. Save. So now we're going to take points out of here. Mind Spike look really good. Hold on. Sorry about that. I'm glad I was able to mute the microphone before that happened. Alright, so we want Malediction, because we want to be using Void Torrent a lot. Because, again, this is what's going to trigger our Entropic Rift, which is our ultimate big ability down here. And then every time we cast Devouring Plague, it's empowered, so it increases its damage and its size. So basically, we in between, we want to build up as much as we can while this is down, and then slam it really, really hard. So with that, we're going to put some points into... I think we went down... Is it this way? We didn't go into Mindbender, did we? Oh yeah, because our periodic damage was increased. We want to look at this. So actually, we might just go back to this here. We don't have N'Zoth anymore. Still want that. Devouring Plague increases the amount of damage to deal damage 80% faster on our targets for 3 seconds, which honestly might not be the worst idea. Put 1 into spirits, and then it was this one. Yeah, this increases our AoE a little bit here too. Idol of N'Zoth. That's where we wanted to go with this. So Voidweaver here. This is going to be what our setup's going to look like for this. Again, we want the max amount of cooldown we can get for Void Torrent, which is why we're here. And then, of course, Void Torrent damage with Insidious Ire is here. So we're basically just going to be cranking all of this out as much as possible. And then, of course, Idol of Cthulhu was going to give us more damage here. Idol of N'Zoth is the choice for this one. I realize we probably could realistically try to jump into here in this way. But I think Spirits, and while I think Spirits is useful, maybe not as useful. So let's go into Mastermind, or we could go into Mindbender. 2 insanity each time the Mindbender attacks. Maybe let's give that a try. And there's now a Void Wraith. Oh yeah, forgot. This is the talent that turned into a Void Wraith. So transform your Shadow Fiend or Mindbender into a Void Wraith. It comes for 15 seconds. It casts Void Flame from afar. It deals bonus damage to high health enemies up to a maximum of 50% if they are full health. So again, crazy amounts of damage. Let's just see what this ends up looking like in a dungeon. So we're going to queue up. And we're so close to, what's that going to be, 77? Maybe finishing getting to level 80 tomorrow, just because. However, our stats seem to be holding pretty well. We've been finding a lot of stuff with haste. Crit's not a bad way to go, but mastery is going to be a pretty decent increase as well. But I think crit's going to be ultimately the plan for how we're going to max out our stats the best. Haste and crit. Not for we actually get a useful mastery for once. Alright, well, look at that. 20 eye levels, which means a lot of intellect gain. So hopefully now we're going to see even more. That chest piece looks kind of crappy. That doesn't look much better. Okay, kind of. Yeah, we'll screw with it later. Alright, this is probably gonna be our last dungeon for the night to test out Voidweaver. And then it's rack out time for me. I've been pulling some really long nights. Holy cow, guys, we weren't even trying. 565.
They belong to that old cruel sister Blaze. Destroy these outsiders, useless to the Empire has passed. Soon, the true will arise, and the Arathi will
Oof. Okay then. So we had some new people because they had no idea where they were going or what they were doing. Trying to run up the stairs and crap. I mean, okay though. Maybe that's what you want to do.
Baron, demonstrate your worth.
I'm going to be missing this boss fight, unfortunately.
Fall at our feet. What have we here? Intruders.
Oh, I made it.
Watch your step. Interrupt. Watch your step.
Yeah, we didn't get nearly as high. This one with a 172. However, it did feel a little bit more flow. You know what I mean? Like, it felt like the rotation actually had a little bit more flow, so I'll say that as a plus.
She has always preached of the strength of the Emperor's will, but to turn against us is madness.
So yeah, pluses so far. Less damage, obviously, but definitely pluses so far goes to, definitely feels like there's more flow to the rotation.
Veladar is the crucible. It burns away weakness. Its blinding light reveals the strength. We Arathi with an army of the risen. The Arathi will defeat the Nerubians, conquer Kazalgar, and subjugate the world.
Defile the sacred flame by animating the dead. They are no better than the Kobus.
Yeah, definitely feels much easier to like use. Like, not that it's easier, but just that it actually has some flow and warm in my house. I am sweat.
Sacred flame will cleanse your transgressions!
Watch your step. Watch your step. AOE incoming. Watch your step. Watch your step. Watch your step. Enthroned. Watch your step. Watch your step. Watch your
And my
step.
cat just knocked over something behind me. Yes, I noticed.
Watch your feet.
And we're on to one more point here. All right.
It is done. These zealots no longer steer our
Grants you
faith
a
towards
Mind
destruction.
Devourer. Void Blast increases the duration of travel rip by 1 second up to a
All
maximum
who
of
take
3
comfort in
seconds.
the light of the
So Darkening
sacred
Horizon
flame,
could be useful.
thank you.
Void Empowerment. Mind Devourer. I think once we hit max and we start getting stats up a little bit more, I think that will be more useful. But in the meantime, we may see what this is all about. All right. So 246 on that last fight. Not bad, honestly. We've climbed so much level in actual level and not very much in item level, and still pulling consistent damage regardless of which build we're going into, which is really good news. So if you look at my stat breakdown right now, this needs to be much higher, I think, because this is not doing anything. So 11% for each Shadow Word Pain, Vampiric Touch, and Devouring Plague on the target. So all targets receive the maximum effect. So during my single target, great. Then once I pop freaking Dark Ascension, yeah, I'll end up doing more damage, but I definitely think that crit strike's going to be the way to go for this one. So we're going to look into increasing the stat. Haste is holding. I honestly think that's not bad. So yeah, we're sitting at 503 and level 77. We'll finish off the last 3 levels tomorrow. So until then, you guys have a good night, have fun, enjoy the rest of your weekend. Catch you guys in the morning.